What do you think about all these Etsy coaches and Etsy gurus out there? Actually, maybe don't answer that question. Today, I'm going to talk about something that might be kind of weird for me to talk about. I think that this video would be really helpful for anyone who is considering getting help with their Etsy shop, whether that be help from me or help from another coach. So today, I'm going to talk about how to pick your Etsy business coach. There are so many Etsy business coaches and gurus out there. The majority of people who have free YouTube content are usually selling something. Okay, let's be real. You can make money on YouTube from ads, but really that AdSense money is not enough to make those hours you spend making a video worth your time. So usually there's almost always something offered for sale somewhere on a video, whether it be, through affiliate links, through a course, through coaching, through something. Sure, there can be a ton of free value tips, etc. But if you're looking for the full, complete strategy, usually that's going to cost something. So with so many options out there, maybe you're thinking, yes, I need some direction, some help with my Etsy shop, but I don't even know where to start. There's too many options. This is overwhelming. Maybe I just won't do anything. Let me guide you through what I would do if I was in your shoes and I was considering getting help for my Etsy shop. And these are some really good questions that I think prospective students should be asking me before they agree to work with me. And I want to share the top 7 things that I recommend that you look for in an Etsy coach, or questions that I recommend you ask them when you are on a call with them. So the first thing I think you should do is decide for yourself, do you want to take one big course that has everything within it, or do you want to do kind of like an a la carte approach where you're kind of taking different courses from different people about different topics? So one that would be like taking an Etsy 101 course, then signing up for a Pinterest course, then signing up for an SEO course, then maybe signing up for a print on demand course, then maybe taking a pricing course, and then maybe adding on a Canva course. So those courses might be like $50 to like $400 each, but you're picking and choosing which types of courses you're taking, maybe from different people. So that's one approach. Otherwise, the other approach is taking one course that is pretty much an A to Z type of strategy, where they're giving you every piece to accomplish a total transformation within that course itself. So they're two different strategies. Maybe you're someone who you really like picking different pieces and putting pieces together yourself. Maybe you're someone where you I want all the pieces put together for me so I don't have to think about it. So they're two different strategies for two different types of learning. I would decide that before you start looking at courses. The second thing that I would recommend is that you choose to learn from someone who has more experience than you and who has done more revenue than you have done, or that you are hoping to do. If you want to level up your shop, you really need to learn from someone who has competed on the Etsy marketplace at a much higher level, and not just one level above where you were at, but at least a couple levels, because different levels of success require different strategies, and different stages of your business require different strategies. You need to find someone to learn from who has been there and done that in a consistent way. The next thing I recommend is to make sure that you're not choosing someone who started their business in 2020 and had one good year. This is because 2020 was the absolute easiest time to make money on Etsy. And that is all I will say about that. The fourth thing I recommend doing is asking this question. Ask them, what was the most difficult part about starting your business, and what do you think will be my biggest hurdle based on what I've told you I want to do on Etsy? Their level of honesty and transparency and the thought and perspective that goes into their answer is going to tell you a lot. Okay, the fifth thing that I would ask them is, what do you do if you look at a student's shop and their designs are not good, or if their artistry is just bad? You guys, this is super important to know how your coach, your prospective coach, would handle that. You've got to find someone who feels convicted and who feels like they have a moral obligation to be honest and give the truth, even if it's hard. So you are paying someone to help you, and they're actually going to be hurting you if they're not giving you constructive criticism when you need to hear it. If someone is going to encourage you to keep going down the wrong path that they know is not going to work for you, that's not who you want to be your business mentor. The sixth thing I think you should ask them is, What made you want to do business coaching? If you were making so much money on Etsy and if you were so happy with Etsy, then why are you doing this? This will also be very telling because you need to make sure that you are not learning from someone who had one good year on Etsy and then became an Etsy business coach because they've started to see their sales slip and they're trying to find a new way to make money. A lot of people have seen their sales slump this year. You need to make sure that you do not choose an Etsy business coach who decided to become a coach because their sales started slipping and they couldn't turn it around themselves. I'm pretty sure that's something that we're going to be seeing. So just be aware of that. In this question, asking them why they started this Etsy business coaching, they were making so much money on Etsy. Why are you doing this business coaching? Their answers to those questions are going to be really telling. The seventh thing you should be looking for is an Etsy business coach who has a shop that is open and active, not someone who had a shop 5 years ago. The thing is, your business coach, they need to be not just on top of Etsy policies, but they need to be on top of how those policies are actually working, maybe how to get around those policies and how to use those policies to your advantage. And if someone is teaching an Etsy course, but they don't have an active, thriving Etsy business, they're not going to have that experience of trial and error with changing Etsy policies to be able to give you strategies that work to get around them or to take advantage of them. So if someone has kind of like an inactive shop, they kind of use it as a dummy shop just so that they have something open and can experience the changes on Etsy. That's not the same as being a thriving business navigating changes on Etsy. You really want to make sure that you find someone with the latter. Now, the eighth thing that I recommend looking for is finding someone who has huge success not only on Etsy, finding someone who is just successful in everything they touch. This tells you that if they have their hand in your business, on your business, they know how to make magic. You don't want to have someone who just had success in one thing on Etsy, their one shop, one time. You want to have someone who has success in a lot of things that they touch. And by this, I mean you need to find someone who is not just an Etsy expert, but a business expert. You need to find someone with a strong business foundation because this will be infused into the way they approach every part of a business. And this is precisely what allows someone to be able to advise on businesses other than their own. They have the principles in the foundation that they can apply to any type of business, and they have the confidence to do so. Otherwise, if you find someone who's an Etsy expert, but not a business expert, the scope of what you will learn from them is going to be so much more limited. And this will affect the longevity of your success and the consistency of the results that you will get. Now, the last thing that I recommend asking is what makes you confident that you can help me with my product in my shop? This is going to tell you a lot. If someone is unsure of their system, of their methods, or of their strategies, this is when you're going to see that. I hope this was helpful. This was a bit of an interesting video to make, but this is how I would approach looking for any sort of business coach in any business that I have. And these are some questions and things that I would think about if I were you and I was feeling like, okay, I know I need help. I know I need to change, but this is so overwhelming with all the coaches and programs and things out there. I don't know where to start. Start with this. Start with these questions. Start with these questions. And once you find someone whose answers satisfy your questions, go. Just go, because waiting is lost opportunity. When you wait, you leave a lot of money on the table. And there's a lot of opportunity left behind that you cannot get back when you wait. So if you find someone who answers these questions in a way that satisfies you, I would jump in all in head first, whether it's my program or another program. I heard the saying the other day, it was learn more to earn more. And boy, wow, that would be like my phrase of the year, because it is life-changing when you can learn the proven steps from someone else and apply them to your own business. So if you have any questions, whether it's about my program, Multi-Six-Figure Etsy Blueprint, or about, how to vet other programs, let me know. And I'd love to help you out. I know investing in yourself is a big step, but if you find the right program, it is so worth it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Connect with me on Instagram at Dylan Jarrus, and I will see you in my next video.